Students, let us discuss the first chapter of second year. The name of the chapter is waves. What is a wave? Wave is nothing but transportation of energy from one point to another point. So in a wave, energy is carried from one point to another point. During the transportation of the energy, particles of the medium vibrate and they carry forward the energy from point A to point B. All the particles of the medium undergo simple harmonic motion, that is nothing but vibration. So without vibration, a wave cannot propagate. Waves are of three types. So first type is called mechanical wave. The second one is called electromagnetic wave. And the third one is called matter wave. We do not discuss about matter waves. We discuss in later chapters and also about electromagnetic waves. Let us see the difference. A mechanical wave requires medium. So mechanical waves are those waves, for their propagation medium is necessary. Example is sound waves. So you can't send a sound signal in the vacuum. So that is the best example of, for this mechanical wave we give sound waves. Sound cannot propagate on the moon because on the moon you have vacuum. And in electromagnetic wave, both electric and magnetic fields vibrate. And what are matter waves we will discuss in modern physics. No need to discuss it right now. Now, depending upon the nature of the vibration of the particles of the medium, two types of waves are defined. One is called transverse wave. The second one is called longitudinal wave. Transverse waves and longitudinal waves. Actually, these are the two natures of a wave. In a transverse wave, particles of the medium vibrate perpendicular to the direction of the propagation of the wave. Here the wave is going from A to B. This is the direction. And the particle is vibrating perpendicular to the direction. You take the example of a rope, a stretched string, that is a wire which is fixed tightly in between two fixed points. You pluck it. This string will vibrate like this. The upper part of this wave train is called crest and the lower peak or the lower part is called trough. So what is a transverse wave? One crest plus one trough is called one transverse wave. Actually this is not a wave. This is called a wave train. So wave is this much only. This is called wave. Transverse waves can only be propagated in solids mainly and also in stretched strings. Now what are longitudinal waves? In longitudinal waves, particles of the medium vibrate parallel to the direction of the propagation of the wave. Here the wave is moving from A to B. The particle is moving parallel or along the direction of the propagation of the wave. For this, we can give an example of a gas. Let us take some hydrogen gas in a cylinder having a piston. So here you have hydrogen molecules. You give a push to the piston. What happens? Within the hydrogen gas, the molecules come nearer to each other at some places and they go away from each other at some places. The point where the particles are crowded is called compression, and the point where the particles are away from each other is called rarefaction. In the same way as we defined in the case of a transverse wave, in transverse wave, one trough plus one crest is equal to one transverse wave. In the case of a longitudinal wave, in the same way we define longitudinal wave is equal to one compression plus one rarefaction. Longitudinal waves can be produced in solids, in liquids, and in gases. The best example for longitudinal waves is sound waves propagating in air or in any other gaseous medium. So sound waves in air is the best example of longitudinal waves. Light waves, they come under the category called electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves can travel in vacuum, whereas mechanical waves, they can't travel in vacuum. That is the major difference. In electromagnetic wave, there is no medium, hence there are no vibrations. But as I told you, without vibrations, a wave cannot travel. So how an electromagnetic wave can propagate in vacuum? In an electromagnetic wave, both electric and magnetic fields are vibrating perpendicular to the direction of the propagation, as well as they are mutually perpendicular to each other. So the light wave looks like this. This is an electromagnetic wave along the plane of the board. If this is the electric field, then the magnetic field vibrates perpendicular to the direction of the plane of the board. That I cannot draw because it is a three-dimensional picture. So that is the difference. Now any wave, whatever the type it may be, in all the waves, the basic thing is vibration, and the vibration is of the category of simple harmonic motion that we discussed in the first year. The equation of simple harmonic wave or simple harmonic motion is given by y is equal to a sin omega t plus phi. This we discussed in the first year. In the case of a wave, we make a small change, that is y is equal to a sin omega t minus r plus kx. This is called the equation of the wave in a plane. So this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Particles are vibrating like this. So this is the wave. I am taking the example of a transverse wave train. So what is A? A is called amplitude. What is Y? Y is the displacement at any time t. Suppose here the displacement is maximum, here the displacement is 0. So the maximum displacement from the mean position of a particle is called amplitude. So this is the maximum. So along positive y-axis it is plus A, along negative y-axis it is minus A. This is called amplitude. Amplitude is the maximum displacement of the particle. And what is omega? Omega is called angular velocity. This is equal to 2 pi by t, where t is the period of oscillation or period of vibration. It can also be written as 2 pi into n. N stands for frequency. We know n is equal to 1 by t. Now what is k? K is equal to 2 pi by lambda. K is called propagation constant. K is called propagation constant. It is also called wave number. So its units are radian per meter. So this is the angle and this is lambda. Now what is omega t minus or plus kx? Why I am taking minus or plus? Generally we take plus. Then minus. If the wave is propagating or wave is traveling along positive x direction, you have to take minus. If the wave is traveling along the negative x direction, then you have to take plus. That is the difference. Now, the angle that is there in the bracket, that is omega t, let us say plus x, is called phase. Sorry, kx is called phase. What is phase? That we discussed in the first year. It gives, phase is nothing but the angle. It gives the information regarding the position of the vibrating particle and its state of vibration. So state of vibration and the position of the particle is measured with the use of phase. We studied phase difference in first year. This whole thing is called phase, and this pi is called initial phase. It is also called epoch, that we discussed in the first year. Now, what is lambda? Lambda is called wavelength. Wavelength is nothing but the length of the wave. For example, this is a transverse wave. This is called wavelength. But we don't have names for these points. If you take a wave train, I have names only for this point and this point. So in order to define wavelength, generally it is defined as the distance between two successive crests or two successive troughs. The actual definition of wavelength is, it is defined as the distance between two successive points which are in the same phase. That means two crests are in the same phase and two troughs are in the same phase. I have to consider two successive points. I cannot take this point and define it as lambda. It is not lambda, more than lambda. Is it clear? It is 2 lambda. If I take the distance between these 2 points. The speed of the wave is given by V is equal to n lambda. What is n? N is equal to frequency. What is lambda? Wavelength. What is V? Velocity of the wave or speed of the wave. The speed of the vibrating particle that we discussed in the first year, if speed p, Vp is equal to omega into under root a square minus y square. There in the simple harmonic motion. The velocity of the wave can also be written as V is equal to omega by k. You know what is omega? 2 pi by t. K is equal to 2 pi by lambda. If you substitute, once again you will get V is equal to n lambda. So this is about a wave. You pause the video and try to write the notes. Now, all the waves are called progressive waves. Once a wave is produced at the source, it will not come back unless there is some reflecting surface. So all the waves are moving in only in one direction. So it is called a progressive wave. Progressive means going forward direction. It never returns back unless it is reflected by some surface. If I take two progressive waves, these two progressive waves are identical progressive waves and they are traveling through the same space, that means through the same area of the medium in the opposite direction. So these are two identical. Identical means their amplitudes are same, their angular velocities are same, their frequencies are same, etc. When such waves encountering each other, when they are going in the opposite directions through the same space, through the same area, they superimpose on each other. Then they form a wave called a stationary wave. Even this is also discussed in the 10th class. Stationary waves are also called standing waves. The name stationary means rest, or standing means it is also almost all the meaning is rest. A wave cannot be at rest. It appears to be at rest. That is the reason why they are called stationary or standing waves. For example, you take a stretched string. What do you mean by stretched string? You take a string, you send it through a pulley, attach some weight, it is under some tension T. Because of this, it is pulled downwards. Now you pluck it in the middle. So what is happening when progressive wave is produced toward the left side and another is produced toward the right side? They get reflected at the two fixed boundaries. So they go in these directions, they get reflected and they come, they meet once again and they superimpose on each other. So if this wave is y1 and this wave is y2, according to principle of superposition, the total displacement is y is equal to y1 plus y2. So I am not going into mathematics. If I add two waves, let us say one is y is equal to a sine omega t minus kx, because it is going in one direction. Opposite to this is y2. y2 is a sine omega t plus kx. Just you combine them. Then the resultant is y is equal to y1 plus y2. This comes out to be 2a of sine kx into cos omega t, like that. So you take a string, this is fixed between 2 points. Stationary wave is, why it is called stationary wave, there is another reason. the energy is bound between 2 points. Actually, in a wave, energy has to travel. Here, energy is not traveling, or it is not going beyond these two walls or between these two boundaries. So, if I pluck it, the same string appears like this, as if there are some loops. Actually, since it is only a one wire or a string or a rope, how can I see 3 ropes at a time? It is impossible. This is due to the property called persistence of vision. Persistence of vision. The best example is, you take the example of ceiling fan. A ceiling fan has got 3 blades. When I increase the speed, I see it as a plate instead of separate blades. So my eye deceives that there are no blades at all. Sometimes even blades, they disappear. So that is called persistence of vision. So because of that, though they are not formed, our eye deceives us that there are some loops. Now, the point where the string is not at all vibrating, that is, the amplitude is 0, is called a node. The point of the wire where the amplitude is maximum, so these points are called antinodes. What is the difference? Node is the point where the displacement or the amplitude is 0, where the pressure is maximum. So it is under stress, the point is not moving. Antinode is the point where the amplitude is maximum, the pressure is less. Now, the distance between two successive antinodes or between two nodes is mathematically shown as lambda by 2. The distance between these 2 points or the distance between these 2 points is equal to lambda by 2. Now tell me, the distance between a node and immediate antinode is how much? The distance between a node and antinode from here to here, lambda by 2. Lambda by 2, let us say 50. So half of 50 is 25%. So this is lambda by 4. This you should remember, very, very important. If within a loop, if I cut it here, this value is equal to how much? The length of the wire is equal to lambda by 4. So these are very, very important in deriving 3 essay type questions that come in our intermediate public exams. So these are all introduction. In the next video, I will derive expressions related to these 3 essay type questions. So definitely out of these 3 essay type questions, you will get one question in your intermediate public examination. So this chapter is very, very important. Though the name of the chapter is waves, we are specially dealing with sound waves only, not dealing with light waves or matter waves or anything else. So sound waves are nothing but mechanical waves, the main category. The subcategory in the case of air or gas is longitudinal waves. So sound waves in air or gas is mechanical as well as longitudinal. Whereas light waves, the main category is electromagnetic waves, and the nature of vibration of the fields, that is both electric and magnetic fields, the nature of vibration is transverse, so it is called transverse wave. So light waves are electromagnetic as well as transverse waves. So this is about the basics of waves. We will discuss 3 essay type questions in the next part of my lecture. Thank you.